There's been a lot of news making headlines within the XRP community. These events, such as the SEC lawsuit filed against Ripple, tagged as the cryptocurrency trial of the century, are considered by crypto analysts as the rave of the moment within the space. Right now, we have XRP ranging between 52 cents and 55 cents. As the world's financial market dwindles and the need for a more decentralized reserve currency arises, Ripple reveals that we're just about at the last lap in the transition of the global payment sphere to a fully digitized economy. Welcome back to Make Money Online. If you haven't already, consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on post notifications. We also have a completely free Discord group where we share daily signals with a community of like-minded traders and investors. You'll find a link for that in the video description. And now you can also support us on Patreon. We have several packages you can choose from according to your particular needs. And we have a special offer for our first 100 members, only $9.99 for our VIP Discord channels, where we share much more in-depth analysis and even one-on-one sessions. Be sure to check out the links in the video description and the pinned comment. The cryptocurrency market has registered quite some significant wins throughout 2021. Even though the entire market is down by almost 50% from its overall all-time high, prices are still up by a notch on the year-to-date gains, which has seen financial experts calling for a replacement of the United States dollar as the world's reserve currency, with a more accessible asset, one that's not tied to any given jurisdiction or prone to market manipulations like these fiat currencies or gold, as is provisioned by the new digitized asset class, otherwise known as cryptocurrencies, which, irrespective of its cons, is still by far the best option as the world's reserve currency. In this regard, XRP currently tops the list. Even though critics have long talked about the thought of this being a delusional statement, XRP has since continued to prove them all wrong. Now we have this tweet from Ripple themselves saying the last mile in global payments is the movement of value from a financial institution to the end recipient. Our playbook provides insights and opportunities to leverage blockchain technology and grow your business. If you follow through to that link on the second page of the playbook, you'll find that it explains what the last mile in payment stands for. As it reads, similar to supply chain management and transportation logistics, the last mile in global payments refers to the movement of value from a financial institution to the final delivery destination, the end recipient. This last leg of the payments journey is plagued with inconsistencies, due in part to the differing policies and infrastructure country to country. In many emerging economies, much of the global population remains unbanked and must seek alternative means for payment receipt. To meet this demand, the last mile payment incurs additional time for settlement and costs. Connecting these different domestic networks is just another roadblock in the last mile payment experience. In an attempt to create more cross-border interoperability between the different local payment networks, industry players are building new capabilities atop a complicated web of legacy systems. This practice is not fixing the root cause of slow global payments. Rather, these solutions are glossing over the original prohibitive infrastructure. Until this base infrastructure is improved, performance will always be limited. The adoption of blockchain alleviates these constraints by unifying the underlying infrastructure and uniting the framework of institutions and suppliers working on top of it, thereby enabling a seamless last-mile process that meets consumer expectations and needs. With regards to XRP's price, and according to the predictions by CoinDesk's Omkar Godbol, the digital asset seems to be eyeing the dead cross pattern over 5 months, a move that many analysts have come to term as an indication that a bear market is imminent before the big wins are set into place. A pattern of which goes along the lines of lower lows, as experienced now, to higher lows, right before retracing back to lower highs, and then to higher highs. Following the chart's trend, the previous bearish crossovers on the left, as seen during the 2019 and 2020 price swings, were accompanied by an oversold reading of below 30 recorded by the Relative Strength Index. However, this time, the RSI bears a biased bearish momentum. This goes to say that the possibility of the death cross inviting more substantial chart-driven sell-offs can't be overruled at this point. On the other hand, the 50-day simple moving average of XRP's price is expected to go under the 200-day SMA within the next couple of days, thus confirming the anticipated bearish death cross. Just as the pattern suggests a long-term sell-off momentum in theory, historically the data presented entails even more. Immediate support is at the June 22nd low of 51 cents, followed by 43 cents, the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement of the December to April bull run. The June 29 high of 73 cents is the level to beat for the bulls. We have this post from our favorite crypto attorney, John Deaton, who posted a quoted tweet from the Twitter handle of the Chamber of Digital Commerce while quoting Congressman Tom Emmer, who stated that XRP is not a security. Clicking through to the document on the quoted tweet, we find this bill, dated Thursday, July 15th, 2021, with the title, Emmer introduces legislation to provide certainty for digital assets under securities law, which is endorsed by the Chamber of Digital Commerce, the Blockchain Association, and Coin Center. Reading through that piece towards the introductory section, where Congressman Emmer states that there's been an unreasonable approach by regulators as to how federal securities laws should be applied to transactions involving the sale of blockchain-based tokens. And this lack of clarity is hurting American innovation. Between regulation by enforcement and the varying legal decisions regarding the classification of these assets, regulatory uncertainty has hindered the growth of blockchain technology, leaving many to take the technology overseas. Further on, the congressman who served as the co-chair of the Congressional Blockchain Caucus in 2018 went on to add that we've seen a lack of clear regulations hinder the progress of blockchain-based technology. The development of these innovations should not be impacted by the government's inability to adjust. Congressman Emmer went on to indicate that the Securities Clarity Act will allow America to compete in this new arena without sacrificing the consumer and investor protections that have made our capital markets the strongest in the world. American companies have already tried to follow our current rules and navigate our securities regulations. Now they deserve certainty from our regulators when offering their digital assets to the public. This is a bipartisan solution that could provide long-lasting growth and innovation in our country. Supported by the upbeat mood that is starting to show up among various crypto traders, XRP seems to rise following the early trading trends. As the crypto market leaders Bitcoin and Ethereum are introduced greens and subsequently some gains into the market. On that note, XRP is steadily retracing its steps back to the 56 cent support level, reversing the bearish moves from the previous session and trading at around 57 cents as of the time of recording this. Just as the CEO of Ripple had earlier hinted in a Twitter post from about a year ago, it comes down to trust in the financial system at the end of the day. As global populations continue to lose confidence in fiat currencies, as we're seeing with the USD, they will choose to diversify. Our future global financial system will do the same. Thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications. If you have any questions or comments, let us know, and be sure to check out our free Discord group via the link in the description and pinned comment as well. And we'll see you next time.
Auto and chest pounding is kind of silly.
What about the future of cryptocurrencies? Where do you see the future of these digital assets and maybe the role of Bitcoin and Ripple or XRP in that future?
Yeah, so our view is that these digital assets really become supplemental to the existing family of currencies, right? So every country still needs its own fiat currency for all kinds of reasons that we'll get into it. Very complicated, right? And I actually think that the big four, the yen, the euro, the dollar, RMB, they actually, I think, become stronger in this world that we're going into, partially because of digital assets.
Okay.
That these digital assets actually contribute to a world that's more interoperable, where more people around the globe can get access to these big four. And most of global commerce is done in the big four. So I think you have a bifurcation going on. Those big four get stronger. I think some of the smaller currencies, maybe even some more of the very small fiat currencies, become less relevant, maybe even disappear. A country could have its own fiat, but still use one of the big four.
Like Montenegro.
Absolutely. But I think then where the digital assets fit in, things like XRP and Bitcoin, they're kind of in that mid-range. They become, I think, like the Singapore dollar or the Swiss franc, and they become useful in, kind of lubricating the world to make it easier for those big four to get in the hands of people all around the world. So that's useful. And there might also be things like applications and devices that maybe primarily use one of those digital assets. So that's kind of the view we have. So I think in that world, countries should be less threatened by what's going on and see them as simply supplemental rather than a threat. Too much talk about it being a threat. Our country has done a bad job and too much bravado and chest pounding is kind of silly.
Hollywood Carson. Hollywood Carson.